The Pittsburgh Playhouse Theater is not just for COPA students anymore. Why the Point Park Black Student Union broke the grates for our other students groups on campus.
Been experiencing extremely unseasonable temperatures the last few days, with warm temperatures heading up into the 60s. I'll tell you what you can expect for the weekend coming up after this.
Cold. Good afternoon. Oh, no, wait. Thank you.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Point News. I'm Jevin Flegel.
And I'm Megan Masiosi. Some student groups are looking to hold their events in a different location. Listen to the different ways you'll be able to request the Playhouse for future events. Nicole Fushini has the story.
One of Point Park University's own student groups made history here at the Pittsburgh Playhouse. The Black Student Union held an event at the Pittsburgh Playhouse on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, making them the first student group to ever utilize the space.
Last year we had an MLK tribute, and it was really good. It was in a small space. I want to go bigger and better. We really wanted to honor him in the right way this time.
This new facility opened its doors on October 11th, 2018. It moved from its original home in Oakland here to downtown Pittsburgh. Kim Martin, Pittsburgh Playhouse producing director, said that it is important for a variety of student groups to start utilizing the Playhouse spaces and not just the performing arts students.
We want the whole university to use the space. It's a university-wide asset. It's not just a COPA asset anymore.
The cost for student groups to hold events at the Pittsburgh Playhouse is free unless they need extra security, cleaning, or other services added.
The people on the outside pay a significant price to use the venue.
Kim said she advises student groups to request the facility as early as possible because it fills up very quickly.
As soon as you can get that date booked, even if there's not a show in the theater, it still takes about 6 to 8 weeks to prepare that space.
To book the Pittsburgh Playhouse for your student group's event, contact Conference and Event Services through the Point Park website. You'll need to fill out an internal request form, which will be sent back to their department for review.
Hope to get more and more student usage out of this. And I think the BSU event went really well.
Kim said that she hopes that more student groups on campus start using this space. Nicole Fushino for Point News.
Point Park's Black Student Union group preparing for a busy month of celebration, with Black History Month now underway. BSU Vice President Prim Green says that the organization has several events lined up for more from a Black History Trivia contest, two movie nights highlighting famous Black performers, and Green says event dates and locations will be displayed around campus as well as throughout the BSU social media channels. Per 2018 statistics, and 14% of Point Park's undergraduate population were Black or African American.
Port Authority is testing out something new this year as a result of rider complaints. Commuters using the new 67 buses might be getting a sneak peek at the future of Port Authority buses. Point News reporter Nick Berlansky has the story.
Cold, damp, and wet. These are the words that describe Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania as a whole during the first calendar months of every year. However, recently, Port Authority has been getting complaints that their fabric bus seats are doing the same. These complaints were made by several riders stating that because of the fabric covering, they are unable to tell when the seats are dirty or wet. In response to these criticisms, Port Authority has recently rolled out a pair of new buses with plastic seating out of the East Liberty Garage on a trial basis. The new plastic seats will be gray with a thin, cushiony surface. Some Point Park commuter students weighed in on the change.
It might be a good idea, also because of the bed bugs thing. On the East Coast, they're a big thing, and that's why Philly transitioned to plastic seats.
I think that would get real hot and sticky in the summertime. and wouldn't even help that much. I've never sat on a wet bus seat.
These buses are the latest of Port Authority's new vehicles that have been rolled out since last September. The thought being that riders will be able to see the wet spots better with the new seats. The seats were given to Port Authority for free by Gillig LLC from California to test out for a few months. These trial seats are set to run on the 67 buses for a couple of months, and the Port Authority is ready to expand or eliminate these seats based on the results of those trials. Reporting for Point News in downtown Pittsburgh, I'm Nick Berlansky.
According to a City of Pittsburgh press release, Mayor Peduto met with the United States Conference of Mayors in Washington, D.C. on January 25th to speak on the two separate panels for gun violence plaguing American communities. The press release also states that Peduto is meeting with other mayors like Rahm of Chicago and Leota Cantrella of New Orleans who have experienced gun violence in their cities. The mayor's communications director, Timothy McNulty, states, quote, all mayors deal with the same kinds of issues, from gun violence in communities to things as simple as potholes and garbage collection. It makes sense for them to work together and share their experiences, end quote.
Domestic violence in all form focused with Pittsburgh police establishing a new domestic violence unit. Point Park News reporter Nicole Pampina takes a look at the issue of domestic violence and how it is impacted so many.
According to Pittsburgh's annual public safety report, Pittsburgh police respond to thousands of domestic violence calls every year. And starting this year, the Bureau will establish a new investigations unit focusing on these cases. The Domestic Violence Unit is funded by a $500,000 grant from the Nina Baldwin Fisher Foundation.
Just looking at the City of Pittsburgh statistics, you could see that there is a need there for that unit. But since the Institute Lethality Assessment Program, their amount of domestic violence has gone down. According to statistics from the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 3 women in the United States have experienced physical violence from an intimate partner. For junior dance major Chesney Douglas, she has experienced the lasting effects firsthand.
And she's a strong woman, but I wouldn't be able to do what she's done. Like, I'll talk to her and she goes back into her old, like, kind of safety zones, and I'm like, Mom, like, are you okay? Like, we're here, you can talk to me.
Most officers responding to the scene of a domestic violence call will often administer a lethality assessment, including 11 questions used to determine the severity of the situation.
Based on those questions that the victim would screen in, we then submit a phone call to the Women's Center and Shelter of Greater Pittsburgh, and we request that the victim would speak with a counselor at that time to get all their resources involved.
While Pittsburgh police are partnering with the Women's Center and Shelter for the unit, Douglas wishes to see more emotional support resources for victims like her mother.
Women in, like, society now are under they have the belief that, oh, I have to do this myself, like it happened to me. There are places that you can go without feeling like bad about yourself.
Funding from the Nina Baldwin Fisher Foundation is set to take effect on January 31st. Reporting from downtown Pittsburgh, I'm Nicole Pampina for Point News.
According to the Occupational Information Network, there will be a 2% decline in job opportunity within 10 years for journalists. Competition is prominent in the field of journalism, and Point Park students have the opportunity to attend a skill-building seminar. On February 19th, the Mid-Atlantic chapter for the Emmy Awards is teaming up with Point Park. Tara Fassan from the Mid-Atlantic chapter emphasizes that writing skills are most crucial for journalists, followed by versatility of media skills. Students with these skills will prepare themselves for the future job opportunities. Achievements in these areas help to separate students from competition when applying.
According to the U.S. News, 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by the second week of February, and dieting is one of the most common resolutions that people make. According to Center for Disease Control's unrealistic for dieting, fad dieting do not work. Registered dietitian Laura Zivas advises dieting to begin setting small goals such as daily walks and consume water consumption. Zivas also suggests the importance of measuring serving sizes to avoid overeating. Although it it is important to maintain a clean diet, Zeros encourages a favorite treat once a week.
February is National Black History Month in the United States. Find out what events Point Park's Black Student Union is planning on having around campus to celebrate. Student groups have a new event location thanks to Point Park's Black Student Union. We'll have more on that after the break.
Go to our new website, uvu.pointpark.edu.
Go, 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 go!
Join UView and find your herd.
Join EOP. And 3, 2, Join EOP.
I was just saying, grab them now, or else I will step on.
Yeah. Join on point with politics. 3, 2, 1.
Join Pioneer Sideline.
Loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Welcome back. We've seen a warm-up in recent days, but winter isn't done yet.
Alex Lenigan has your weekend forecast right now on Point News. Thanks, Alex. This cold weather is also dangerous for our furry friends, too. From dogs to cats and any animal you may own, the cold temperatures create risks. Humane Society's Humane Society's Manager of Communications, Matt Petricoli, has some advice for pet owners.
Like someone with their own dog. A big part of it, though, is just keeping an eye on them and making sure that their paws aren't freezing or anything like that. But on the really frigid days like this, when our volunteers come in and walk our dogs here, they pop them outside, they bring them right back in because it can happen really quick.
Booties and sweaters are another necessity for short-haired dogs. The ASPCA also recommends feeding your dogs a little more food at dinner time to help keep them warm outside. Remember, if it's too cold outside for you, then it's too cold outside for your dog too.
Super Bowl 53 was not what many expected. See who came out on top in Sunday's defensive battle.
A combined $300,000 from the county's Clean Air Fund was awarded to 6 organizations. See how one of them plans to use the money next on Point News.
What's one word to describe CAB?
Welcoming.
Community.
Creative.
Experiences.
Family. Openness.
Pineapple.
The Campus Activities Board is a student-run organization that consists of 7 different committees. Each focuses on event planning, marketing, and administrative activities. Join us in organizing the juiciest events on campus, from late-night bingo to festive dances to our team bonding meetings. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Point Park Cap, or like us on Facebook at Campus Activities Board at Point Park University.
and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Troop alongside Jess Paterchak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States.
Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
Two-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
Welcome back. County Executive Rich Fitzgerald recently awarded Healthy Ride Pittsburgh with a grant from the county's Cleaner Air Fund to be put towards phasing out their transportation vans.
Point News reporter Alex Lenigan has the story.
While most of Pittsburgh is dealing with record-breaking cold this winter, one local company is already looking ahead to warmer weather. Healthy Ride, the city's bike sharing system, was just awarded $38,000 from Allegheny County's Clean Air Fund to be put towards reducing their carbon footprint within the next year. Healthy Ride bike sharing stations have been popping up in various locations around Pittsburgh since 2015. With the growing popularity of cycling thanks to Mayor Peduto's commitment to safe bike lanes, they have been expanding ever since. Now they're looking to limit their impact on the planet by phasing out their transport vans and replacing them with electric tricycles.
We are hoping to take advantage of some funding through the county to pilot a different way of moving bikes around in the city. The bikes are primarily get moved around by our customers, but there are times when we need to rebalance the system. And we do need to move bikes around and check on individual stations, make sure that all the electronics are working. And so the way that we do that right now is through a high roof van. Many people have probably seen it around Pittsburgh. It has Healthy Ride, real visible. But we'd love to get away from using fossil fuels to move bicycles.
The electric trikes will be used to transport bicycles to and from the repair facility on Penn Avenue. Healthy Ride currently operates 104 stations in the Pittsburgh area with hundreds of bikes to oversee.
The electric tricycles, trikes, and electric bike will be used to transport 3 or 4 or maybe even up to 5 bikes at a time. They're kind of like a heavy-duty workman-style electric utility bike.
Along the same lines as the electric tricycles, Healthy Ride also intends to use the funds to eventually add electric assist bicycles to their fleet. Reporting from Penn Avenue in the Strip District, I'm Alex Lenigan for Point News.
The New England Patriots scored 10 points in the fourth quarter to send Tom Brady and Bill Belichick home with their 6th Lombardi trophy. The Pats defense held Todd Gurley and the Rams to only 260 total yards and 3 points on their way to victory. New England now ties the Steelers with an NFL most 6 Super Bowl wins. But, Jevin, not everybody always watches the Super Bowl for the game. Sometimes they watch the halftime show. And this year, Maroon 5, Travis Scott, and Big Boy were the acts. And what did you think?
I really don't understand why the NFL thought it was really cool to have 3 performers, because my favorite was Lady Gaga when she was just the performer. I think it really, maybe it gives someone something for everyone, but at the same time, I was kind of turned off by it.
Really? I know a lot of people were kind of happy with music choices, but not entirely, because they really didn't play any of their new music. It's pretty old, like She Will Be Loved. I was kind of surprised when they played that. But another thing really getting attention is people feel like they didn't do the SpongeBob tribute well enough.
I was so surprised, because I don't understand how, you have this big, huge Huff Bluff and never really give us what we really want.
I agree, and I thought, with the creator dying, I really thought they would have tried to do a little bit better this year and maybe do the tribute more what it deserved, especially since that was a lot of the viewers' childhood growing up.
Yes, I definitely agree. So I really hope that maybe next year we can start maybe going back to maybe a solo artist, or who knows what happens.
I know they like the duos. I mean, I know Adam Levine was taking his clothes off a little bit.
I was a little shocked.
I was a little surprised, since Janet Jackson had that wardrobe malfunction and they just didn't. But that's all we have for this week. Thank you for watching.
Point News will be back next Thursday at 2 p.m. Have a great week, Pioneers.